It's early morning, January 7th, when I'm recording this. January 6th, a bit of a slow news day. We'll just take a look at a montage of headlines from the events that transpired in DC. I'm approaching this from the perspective of, and if you've seen any of my videos, you know this already. I think celebrities are garbage. I think individuals who are athletes, musicians, any type of leaders that come out and do nothing but fan the flames, I think they're all trash. In the sense that if they call out something on one side and fail to call it out on the other, hypocrisy is what you would say. All of these people you'll hear about are garbage. So look at this. Just think of the carnage had they not been white. Any guess on the skin tone of the individual posting that tweet? There it is. Mr. Whitey himself. Imagine, just think of the carnage had they not been white. Well, yes, we saw the carnage around the country from individuals who were white and not white as well. We saw that for 4, 5, 6 months. At any point did this guy call this out? Here we have a racist piece of trash, Ava DuVernay. Who cares what she says? Horse-faced Sarah Jessica Parker. You can see the list here. Again, was she calling out the violence of Antifa and BLM that occurred throughout the summer? If she was, I'll take back what I said, but my guess is most of these individuals had the little black box and showing their support for BLM when all of that stuff was going on. So to call out one but not call out the other, it just shows you the kind of trash that I'm talking about. Trump mob storms Democrat Washington Governor Jay Inslee's mansion as protesters surround Texas, California, Michigan, Georgia, Oregon, and Kansas state capitals. Here you see some pathetic loser BLM supporter on your knees for BLM. That looks like he got the pepper spray. Why would you show up at the rally? As I said, no need for these idiots to show up at a rally. No need for BLM and Antifa to continue to come out to these rallies done by individuals on the other side of the aisle. A large part of the reason why these things escalate is because idiots from the other side come out and try to cause drama. And you could say the same about the left out there doing whatever they're doing if the right comes out as well. When you come out with the intention to escalate things, then you get what you get. This guy's a moron. This is in Oregon. We know how some of those people feel. Meet the mob who stormed the Capitol. The horned Arizona QAnon supporter who stood at the Senate days, moments after Pence delivered Trump rebuke, and the insurrectionist who put his feet on Pelosi's desk and scratched his balls. That's great. We've got to see photos of that. Should have took a dump on Pelosi's desk. She's a turd, so she certainly deserves it. There he is kicking back on Pelosi's desk. Look at that bottle of hand sanitizer there. Look at this one. He went out and identified who this guy is, showing off a personalized envelope he took from Pelosi's office. He says he didn't steal it. He left a quarter on her desk to pay for it. Amazing how quick these individuals are to try to go out and identify these individuals. But when Black Lives Matter and Antifa was out there bashing up, so oh no, we don't know who these are. Oh, they're mostly peaceful protests. And that's what I would say here. These are mostly peaceful protests from what I saw. They had to be, 97, 98% peaceful? From what I saw, that tops the number of, 93%? That's what the BLM stuff was, 93% peaceful. So hey, Trump supporters got him beat here. Some loser named Selena Gomez tells tech people that they've failed the American people. Again, where was she when BLM and Antifa... Whoa, she has not aged well. Where was she when BLM and Antifa were out doing their thing? Nowhere. Probably hiding out inside. They're cheering it on. Yeah, it's in the name of social justice. Well, if people want to play that game on the left, then the right can easily play that game as well. Social justice. But as we know, whoever has control of the media can dictate the narrative. And that's the problem that I've heard. I watched a lot of stuff on the right and the left about this. A lot of the talk was about the cultural institutions. Who has control, who has the power, and how do you get power? in terms of how things are framed. I saw my local news over and over again all summer long. They told me mostly peaceful protests, but yet these individuals who went into the Capitol, invaders is what they called them, invaders. Now, my feeling is that this kind of thing had to happen. Now you have individuals out here saying that the MAGA mob was Antifa, masquerading as Trump supporters. They say Laura Ingraham pushed the theory on Fox News, presumably. That'll come out. Those individuals will be found, most likely, arrested, and we'll find out what affiliation those individuals have. But this kind of stuff needed to happen. And I say that it needed to happen in this sense, not talking about the violence or whatever. There is some debate about whether violence is the answer that leads to the kind of institutional changes that you want to see happen. But think about this. We've been told for the past 6, 7, 8, 9 months that all of that violence that we saw towards advancing social justice by Black Lives Matter and Antifa, that was a good thing. And then we saw what the result was. Biden got the presidency. They kept the House. Majority narrowed a little bit, but they were able to get a 50-50 split in the Senate. They supported this. Biden, Harris, all of the individuals that didn't call any of this out on the left, all of these individuals on social media, all of the individuals in the media, all of the athletes, celebrities, entertainers, whomever you want to cite. Anyone who didn't call out that violence on the left and just went along with it and pretended like it was about social justice, to then sit here and act like they can't say the same thing, that's the hypocrisy of it all. And that's why I say it needed to happen, because we already know. We know the fix is in. But it just shows more and more about how the picture is painted when individuals have control of the institutions that I cited before, like the media, the educational system. All things cultural is controlled by the left. It further points out to individuals on the right that, hey, when they see this stuff going on and they see the other side get away with it, and they see the power that's gained from it, why would they not want to partake in it? You've shown them, the left, you've shown them for the last 9 months that this is the answer, that this is how you get what you want. Republican Representative Mike Gallagher released a video demanding Donald Trump call off the siege. His supporters carried out on the Capitol. What will happen to Representative Gallagher? So what happens to Representative Gallagher the next time he's up for election? Does somebody primary him? Does this stop here? There's just some questions and some things I'm thinking about today, just kind of trying to formulate my thoughts, still trying to absorb a lot of the information and just formulate my thoughts as to what will happen going forward due to this. You had some individuals that were going to contest Biden's electoral college or the votes or whatnot. Kelly Loeffler was one of them. She said she changed her mind. Doesn't matter. She's out in 2 weeks anyway. But what I'm interested in is, with all of this stuff that happened, what does this say about the right itself? Maybe not so much the conservative movement, but Trumpism, even MAGA-ism, if they want to call it that. Where does that movement go from here? I'm trying to think about, where do things go from here? Do we have a situation where this is the start of something? Does this start us down the road to getting rid of people who continue to put America in the back seat while they let other countries and other nations' peoples sit in the front seat? We're talking about the Pelosis of the world, the Schumers, the Squad members, the Lindsey Grahams of the world, the McConnells, individuals like that who don't really represent the people in the United States. Their interests lie elsewhere. They're only looking out for themselves, their money, getting reelected. For Christ's sake, I mean, like I've said before, we have a guy sitting in Congress right now that nothing's going to happen to him, that it looks like, he hasn't said no, that he was banging a Chinese spy when he was trying to become a congressman. You don't have any pushback on that in the media and from Democrats whatsoever. So is this the start of something to where the people have said, we had enough? Or is this the end of it, where individuals go back to sleep and America continues to keep getting bent over by its politicians, where America continues to keep being sat in the back seat, as I said, and not having our needs catered to as individuals? And then additionally, what I was thinking about was, due to all of this, we've seen these kind of historical moments in time where there's an opportunity to unite. We saw it with COVID. We saw the parties unite for about 14 seconds in condemnation of China. You notice how you don't really hear any condemnation of China anymore. Oh, okay, well, they owe us. They owe us for all the death they caused. No, it was somebody else's fault. There's always something political that one side or the other will look to gain from this. So obviously, since this was done under Trump, they're talking about trying to get him out under the 25th Amendment. Be interesting if they try that. I think it's high time that if he does last, he just starts pardoning everybody and divulging everything he can divulge, kind of just burn it to the ground, burn the establishment to the ground, so to speak. Getting back to it though, is it a situation where the two parties kind of finally figure out like, hey, this is a time to unite everybody? Or, as we've seen with Cori Bush running her mouth, is it something where Democrats are going to look to expel Republicans? They're going to look to have them thrown in jail for treason and insurrection. You know, you hear these words being bandied about for sure, and you're going to hear those words nonstop going forward. But is it something where the two sides say, hey, maybe, and the media, social media, celebrities, athletes, is it a chance for everybody to hit pause and say, hey, look, this has gone too far. We allowed this stuff to go too far. Or it's going to be like what you saw when I showed you that headline with celebrities, where they continue to point the finger and act like they aren't the ones that are to blame. Because as I said, all of those individuals who let BLM and Antifa do their thing, now they want to call this out. Those are the people that are to blame, in my opinion. I think we know which way it's going to go because we've already seen things start to happen, as I've talked about, with politicians starting to come out, use the treason thing, the celebrities, yada, yada, yada. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple weeks. As I said, I'd like to see some fireworks happen. He's got a great opportunity to set things right in terms of being selective with his pardons and everything. But I'm still, like I said, I don't know about you. You're probably trying to think this through. I'm still trying to formulate just what the heck happened. How did we get here? And I would say congratulations to the media. You get a Pelosi clap. Let me put it out in front for you. Congratulations to the media and everybody. You did this. You got what you wanted. All of that time, all of that hate and division that you created, you did this. People can call them useful idiots. The left can say that about them. The right can say that about BLM and Antifa. Useful idiots. But the media drove this. They created this. Now individuals have to take action themselves, but we know how powerful certain institutions can be on how individuals think. The media, the educational system that grooms people to be a certain way. We know what kind of power that holds over time if you continue to beat somebody down and beat somebody down. Basically tell them they aren't squat, they're less than. You have situations happen like what happened today. And that's why I said it needed to happen. So we'll see what comes next. Thanks for watching, everybody. Again, I'm just formulating some thoughts right here. Things will change going forward as we see what happens. But I want to be hopeful. I try to keep an optimistic view of things always. So hopefully when the next administration comes in, they don't F things up too bad, and we'll see. We'll see what this causes for both parties, kind of how the fighting begins. So today's January 7th, the day after. Let's see what happens the next 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Thanks for watching, everybody, and be well.